Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're tackling, well, it's a situation that makes most of us freeze up a bit.
Oh, yeah. That moment.
That moment you bump into someone you know, an acquaintance, maybe from work, maybe socially, and nothing. Their name completely vanished.
Poof. Gone. It's universally awkward, right? Especially if it's like a professional thing.
Exactly. But the good news is the sources we're looking at today, they basically give us a full toolkit. Language, strategies, everything you need to handle it smoothly.
We're going to unpack that. We've got this scenario. Nick and Anna, remember them? They met at some conference. Foreign investment, I think.
That's the one, high-stakes stuff.
Yeah.
And then, bam, they run into each other on the street.
And the immediate challenge hits. Not just, oh no, what's her name? But also, how do you handle this quick chat? How do you seem professional when you're maybe internally panicking a little?
Right. And how do you do it all using, real natural English? That's our mission for this deep dive. Okay, let's get into it. First up, the art of the quick exit. Because sometimes you genuinely don't have time, which Nick didn't in our source material. He needed to manage that time pressure and set up a proper follow-up. This brings us straight to a really key phrase. Being in a bit of a hurry. Sounds simple enough. Means you're busy, right? Short on time.
It does, but it's more than just the definition. Think of it like a social tool. Saying, I'm in a bit of a hurry gives you permission, almost.
Permission, too.
To end the conversation, or keep it brief without needing some long, complicated excuse. Or sounding rude, which is the big fear.
Okay. But isn't there a risk? Couldn't I'm in a bit of a hurry sound a bit dismissive, like you're blowing them off?
It could, yeah, if you just blurt it out. That's why the delivery matters. You need to soften it, maybe with a quick apology, or crucially, by promising future action.
Okay, so less like, can't talk, gotta go, and more.
More like, oh, hey, great to see you. Listen, I'm actually in a bit of a hurry right now, heading to a meeting, but I really wanted to connect properly. See the difference?
Yeah, much smoother. It acknowledges them, but still respects your schedule. The sources had an example, right? Like outside a meeting.
Exactly. Imagine a colleague stops you right before a big presentation. You could say, hey, look, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Just need to quickly review these notes before we go in. Let's definitely catch up later, though. Maybe coffee this afternoon.
Got it. Urgent, but polite. Professional. And this ties directly into the next step Nick took, right? Because he was in a hurry.
He needed to make sure the interaction wasn't just a dead end. So he gave her his card. Which brings us to contact details.
Right. And we need to go beyond just, name and number. In this, like a quick professional bump in.
Contact details are about securing the next step. It's the follow-up mechanism, that conference meeting about foreign investment. Pointless if you can't reconnect.
And it's interesting, isn't it, that he used a physical card. Even now, with everything digital.
It really is. A physical card, especially after something like an investment conference, it still carries a certain weight, doesn't it?
It feels more concrete somehow.
Yeah, it's tangible proof the interaction happened. And like the source says, it's all the useful information so people can get in touch with you, but it also works as a polite way to wrap things up.
Like a signal. Okay, we've established contact, now we move on.
Exactly. It shifts from a random encounter to a planned follow-up. Very efficient. So the strategy from this first part is establish the time limit politely, in a bit of a hurry, then bridge to the future with contact details. Makes sense. Keeps you looking organized, not flustered, respectful of everyone's time.
Okay, moving on. Let's rewind a bit to when Anna first saw Nick. After the greeting, she asks him, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Right, around here. Another one of those small phrases that does a lot of heavy lifting for sounding natural.
It's not just about asking where he lives, is it?
No, it's strategic, especially in a quick chat. By saying, around here, Anna immediately sets the boundaries. She's keeping the conversation focused on the immediate location.
So she's not asking for his whole life story. It's more like, what brings you to this specific spot right now?
Precisely. It avoids going off on tangents when time is short. Think about it. Is there a bank around here? Or do you work around here? It keeps things contained. And the sources mention variations too, which add even more precision, like right around the corner.
Yes. Right around the corner zooms in even further. It means very close by, like the next street or maybe a minute's walk. Super immediate.
So if you say, my office is right around the corner, you mean I'm practically there already.
Exactly. It implies almost instant accessibility. It's much closer than just around here.
Okay, so around here is nearby-ish. Right around the corner is really nearby. What about the other one?
Around there.
Around there zooms out again, but differently. It usually refers to a larger, maybe less specific area that's already been mentioned or implied.
Like the example about Los Angeles.
Yeah. Someone says, oh, I used to live around there, talking about LA. They probably don't mean that exact street corner you're standing on. They mean the general vicinity, maybe a suburb, or just the wider LA region.
So understanding that scale from right around the corner, super close, to around here, nearby, to around there, near a larger known place, is pretty key for fluent chat.
Definitely helps you sound more precise, more natural.
Okay, that makes sense. You manage the time, you manage the location. Now, for the big one, the reason we're all here, forgetting the name.
The moment of truth, or the moment of forgetting. Anna has to admit it. She can't remember Nick's name. And the phrase she uses is just perfect. Your name has just slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Slipped my mind. It's such a great phrase. Why? Because it's gentle. It frames the forgetting as an accident, a little blip. Not like you deliberately ignored their name.
Right, it's not, I forgot your name, which can sound a bit blunt, maybe even careless.
Exactly. Think about email. I forgot to reply. Versus, oops, replying now, it just slipped my mind yesterday. The second one feels much less like a dismissal. More like, human error. Sorry.
Totally relatable. We've all had things slip our minds, birthdays, anniversaries. Sending that email.
Your birthday completely slipped my mind. It implies it wasn't intentional, just a temporary brain fade. Makes the mistake seem more excusable.
But then Nick's response is also crucial for diffusing the awkwardness. He doesn't just say, okay, he validates her.
He does. He says, oh, don't worry, it happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too. And that phrase, terrible with, is our next key bit of language.
This is interesting because it's different from slipped my mind, isn't it?
Completely different function. Slipped my mind is an apology for a one-off mistake, a momentary lapse. Terrible with, however, is like setting an expectation. You're flagging a general, ongoing personal weakness.
So it's not an excuse for this specific time. It's more like saying, just so you know, this is something I generally struggle with.
Exactly. By saying, I'm terrible with names, Nick is basically saying, hey, it's not you, it's me. This is just how my brain works. Takes the personal sting out of it.
And the sources gave other examples, right? Things people are commonly terrible with.
Yeah, loads. Like being terrible with numbers. That could mean you can't remember phone numbers, or maybe you struggle with basic math.
Or terrible with directions. The classic, always getting lost person. That's definitely me sometimes.
Or, and this one feels particularly relevant, being terrible with faces. You meet someone, chat for ages, see them the next day, and blank. No recognition at all.
Oof. Yeah. So using these two together is the real magic trick here. Anna uses slipped my mind for the immediate apology.
And Nick uses terrible with names to normalize it, make it a shared human thing. It just dissolves the awkwardness right there.
The problem's kind of solved socially, even before they actually say the names again.
Absolutely. And think about cross-cultural stuff. Being able to admit a small weakness like this in a slightly self-deprecating way, it actually builds connection.
Yeah.
Shows you're human, not trying to be perfect.
That's a really good point. Okay, let's shift to the final section. Fluency and practical recovery. What do you actually do? First, let's quickly revisit Anna's greeting. Nick, how's it going?
Why is that specific phrase important for fluency?
Well, lots of English learners default to how are you or maybe how are you doing? And those are fine, totally correct. But they can sound a tiny bit formal, maybe a little stiff, especially in a casual, unexpected meeting like this one on the street. How's it going? Just sounds looser,
Right.
more natural, more relaxed.
Like you're already comfortable with the person, establishes that easy rapport instantly?
Exactly. It fits the vibe better. Small thing, big impact on fluency.
Okay, fluency point noted. Now, the real recovery. The name has slipped your mind. You've apologized maybe, or used the terrible with line. You still need the name. Let's talk tactics. I think the sources mentioned that host's family reunion story. Ah, yes. The infamous Uncle John incident. Classic panic scenario.
Remind us what happened.
Okay, so the story goes, the host is at this massive family gathering, huge reunion. They go to introduce their partner to this relative, someone they know well, an uncle. And suddenly,
The name is just gone, total blank.
complete mind wipe. And in that moment of sheer panic, the only solution they could grasp was evasion by title.
So they just said?
Darling, this is Uncle. Just Uncle. Avoided the name altogether.
Haha. Brilliant. A bit niche, though. Only works with relatives. You can't exactly do that at a business conference. Meet colleague.
Definitely not. This is for an investor person. No. So for professional settings, we need better tricks. The sources suggest a kind of, let's call it professional pivot.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the pivot?
The easiest, most professional way, especially if you already mentioned being in a hurry, is to ask for their business card.
Ah, okay. But you frame it differently, right? Not like, sorry, what was your name again? Can I have your card?
No, no. You frame it as part of the follow-up plan. Great catching up. Listen, I need to run, but can I grab your card quickly? Just want to make sure I have your current details for when we schedule that coffee.
Clever. It makes you look organized and forward-thinking, even though you're secretly scrambling for the name.
Exactly. But what if they don't have a card? Or maybe you just got their card 5 minutes ago and feel weird asking again.
Okay, yeah. Backup plan needed.
This is the really smooth move. If asking for a card isn't an option, you ask them to jot down their email address.
Why email specifically?
Because what's almost always in a professional email address?
Their name, like first name dot last name at company.com, bingo, Jane P. Smith at widgetcorp.com. You get the name spelled out, plus their contact info, all in one go, and again, you frame it as efficiency. Hey, just quickly, could you scribble down your email for me so I can send you that link meeting invite? That is seriously slick. Professional camouflage at its finest. You look super on the ball about following up.
While actually just trying desperately to remember if it was Anna or Angela.
Okay, amazing. That's a genuinely high-value tactic right there. Transforms potential embarrassment into looking diligent.
That's the goal.
Right, so let's quickly recap this whole deep dive. We've basically given you, the listener, a full linguistic survival kit.
Yep, you've got, in a bit of a hurry, to manage time politely.
You've got around here, right around the corner, around there, to handle location talk naturally.
You know how to apologize for a momentary lapse with, "It slipped my mind."
And how to manage expectations about ongoing memory issues with, I'm terrible with names, faces, whatever it is.
And crucially, you have those recovery tactics asking for the card or the super stealthy email address request.
You're pretty much armored now for those surprise encounters.
Definitely. And that distinction we talked about between something slipping your mind and being terrible with something that's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think. So here's something for you to ponder. Which category do you fall into more often? Are you someone who just has occasional memory blips, things that slip your mind? Or are you maybe genuinely, chronically terrible with something specific, like names or directions or maybe remembering faces?
Understanding your own pattern and having the right, precise English phrase to describe it, it slipped my mind, versus I'm terrible with, that's actually really powerful.
It helps you manage situations, manage how others see you, and honestly, probably feel less stressed about it yourself.
So use this knowledge. Think about your own memory style. Define it for yourself. The next time you bump into someone unexpectedly, you'll be ready. Composed. Fluent.
Keep exploring these little nuances of real spoken English. They make all the difference.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive.